This is the Louie T Network.
In the lab room.
Welcome, you are in the lab room. I'm your host, Lou. Thank you for joining me. It's Friday. Want to quickly breeze through my Pick'em Weekly for week number 13. Not going to keep you here long at all. Have a lot to do. You have a lot to do. Just want to get my picks on the board and get out of here. I was able to go 3-0 on Thursday, so that was great. Was able to get the home teams all in succession. So start off the week great. You know I love to get those Thursday games under my belt. There were 3 of them because of it being Thanksgiving, and so was able to get all of them. Dallas took care of business. Baltimore took care of business. And of course, Detroit took care of business in convincing fashion. So 3-0 to start out the week. That's a great way to give it a go. Now it's time for me to try to go ahead and secure this week as it pertains to the whole entirety of week number 13. So here's my picks quickly. Not going to do all the bells and whistles like I normally do on a Friday. Just want to get these picks on the board once again and get out of here. So Denver at Kansas City. No Justin Houston, no Tamba Hali, no win for Kansas City. Give me the Denver Broncos to take care of business on the road. You look at the next matchup, Philadelphia hosting the Arizona Cardinals. I think Nicholas Foles will finally meet his match. He's been playing a lot of soft defenses and been going to work on them. This is a top 10 Arizona Cardinals defense. I think that the Cardinals are playing better on the road as well. Carson Palmer isn't turning the football over 2 games in a row with no interceptions. Give me the Cardinals on the road to be able to go in and beat the Philadelphia Eagles. You look at the next matchup, Indy at home versus Tennessee. I feel like the Titans had their opportunities to do some damage in this division. Even though the Indianapolis Colts aren't at full strength, I think they're good enough to get it done at home versus Tennessee. Give me Indianapolis to take care of the Tennessee Titans. You look at the next matchup, Carolina at home versus Tampa Bay. This Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is playing some good football, 3 wins in a row, but they're playing up against a team that has won 8 in a row in the Carolina Panthers. I don't see them being able to snap that winning streak, that being Tampa Bay. Give me Carolina to extend that winning streak out to 9 and really head into that huge matchup on Sunday Night Football versus New Orleans with a boatload of steam. Give me Carolina at home. You look at the next matchup, Chicago traveling to Minnesota. I think Chicago is in the midst of one of those late season meltdowns. I don't think anything has changed except the head coach. I think everything's the same in Chicago, including the late season meltdown. Give me Minnesota at home to find a way to beat Chicago in this matchup. You look at the next game, Cleveland hosting Jacksonville. This is probably one I'm going to regret. I need to start giving the Jacksonville Jaguars a little bit of play, but they're Jacksonville, and for some reason feel like Cleveland's defense, even though Brandon Weeden is starting again, and that usually spells trouble for the Cleveland Browns. They've been trying to run away from Brandon Weeden, and they always find their way back. Still, I think Cleveland's defense is good enough to stifle Jacksonville, force some turnovers, win this game at home. Give me the Cleveland Browns to find a way to get it done versus Jacksonville. You look at the next game, Jets at home versus the Miami Dolphins. Family business. I don't like the Jets. You know I don't like the Jets. However, this is a really good defense. And at home, they're a different team. Geno Smith plays better. Give me the Jets to find a way to get it done against the Dolphins. I just think the Dolphins are too inconsistent for me. And we know the struggles of this offensive line and them being able to protect Ryan Tannehill. This isn't the team you want to go up against if you can't protect your quarterback. Give me the Jets at home to get it done, taking the Jets in that family business AFC East matchup. You look at the next game, Buffalo at home versus the Falcons. I've been talking about this all year long, about how dangerous this Buffalo Bills team is at home. EJ Manuel plays better. The defense plays better. They're a better team at home. The Falcons are a lost cause this season. I think they're done. Give me Buffalo on the road, Buffalo at home to take care of business against the Atlanta Falcons. You look at the next matchup, San Francisco 49ers at home versus the St. Louis Rams. Family business, NFC West style. I think that the Rams are playing with a lot of confidence right now, but the 49ers, to me, there's not a lot of margin for error right now. They can't afford to lose to the St. Louis Rams at home. Even though the Rams aren't afraid of the 49ers, for some reason, Kellen Clemens, I just can't get over that hump. That Kellen Clemens isn't good enough. And again, it's a team effort right now in St. Louis. The special teams is playing really good. The defense is playing lights out. The running game is really carrying them offensively. And Kellen Clemens isn't turning the football over. But I think this might be the week where he actually has 1 or 2 turnovers. Maybe they force a fumble. Maybe he throws a pick. But all in all, I just don't see St. Louis being able to go on the road and beat San Francisco. Wouldn't surprise me, though, because this Rams team is playing such good football, but I just don't see it happening. Give me San Francisco at home to defend their home turf versus the St. Louis Rams. Give me San Francisco in Week 13 to handle a little bit of family business. The next matchup, Houston hosting the New England Patriots. This Texans team, they don't know what direction they're going in. They don't know if up is down, if down is up. They're just all confused right now. Their head coach, he has no clue what's going on. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know how to stop the bleeding. New England playing with a lot of confidence after that big win and come from behind fashion against the Denver Broncos. Give me New England to take care of business in Week 13 as they dispose of the Houston Texans on the road. New England will take that one. You look at the next matchup, San Diego versus the Cincinnati Bengals. San Diego at home in this one. This is a toss-up right here. This is one of the games that I could easily see a lot of people, picking this one wrong, including myself. I mean, this game could go either way. Flip a coin. If it's heads, it's San Diego. If it's tails, it's Cincinnati. You be the judge. I'm going with the home team on this one. I just don't trust Cincinnati. Again, I think San Diego is a lot better than their record may indicate. Again, they're a 5-6 team, but I think this is a dangerous 5-6 team, one that could easily sneak into the AFC playoffs. And at home, they've played solid football. On the road, they've played solid football. They're at home. Cincinnati, conversely, has been abysmal on the road, has been stellar, undefeated at home. And so they're on the road. This is a good team. I just don't know if Cincinnati is going to be able to get it done on the road. Now, they're coming off a bye. They've had 2 weeks to prepare. They're coming off this bye feeling good about themselves. They should be able to win this game, should Cincinnati, but I just don't trust the Bengals. Give me San Diego. Again, this is a toss-up. I could easily lose this game. Wouldn't surprise me if I did, but I'm going with San Diego to get it done at home versus the Cincinnati Bengals. You look at the Sunday night football game, Giants at Washington. As much as I want to pick my boys and say that we're going to find a way to drown out all the noise, all of the controversy, and go out and get a W in Sean Taylor week. This is a huge game for me because this is Sean Taylor week for me. Every year, the Week 13 matchup normally is the Sean Taylor game. Of course, he passed away November 27th, 2007. And so every year, I keep track of the Sean Taylor game. There's not many times that I ask the fellas to go out and get one for me, but this is one of the ones. Of course, Dallas is always one that I want, and I always want the Sean Taylor game. Right now, the Redskins are 2-4 in Sean Taylor games, and so I'm hoping that they can find a way to go to 3-4. And they've played the Giants the most times in the Sean Taylor game. They've played 6 Sean Taylor games to this point, and 2 of them have been against the Giants. This will make the 3rd out of 7 Sean Taylor games. So I'm hoping they can find a way to gut it out and get a W for Sean. But just don't see it happening. This team right now, they're not playing with a lot of fight. They're not playing with a lot of resolve. The Giants aren't that much better. At 4-8, the Giants really haven't played good football all season long. They had a stretch where they won 4 in a row, but they played some really bad teams. They played all backup quarterbacks with the exception of Terrell Pryor during that stretch. They were able to beat all of them, and Terrell Pryor was on one leg. But make no mistake about it, the Giants right now are playing with more confidence than the Redskins. Give me the Giants in Week 13 to handle a little bit of NFC East family business versus the Redskins. Give me the Giants to take care of business. And then we go on to Monday Night Football. Seattle hosting New Orleans in what is the marquee matchup of week number 13. Hands down, not up for discussion. This is essentially a playoff game not because of its being a elimination game or anything of that nature, but this is about who's going to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. If New Orleans wins this game, then they've got the leg up on Seattle in terms of getting home field throughout, because again, You'll own the tiebreaker between the two teams. You'll both be at 10-2. And then you just got to see who's going to finish out the season on that 4-game stretch the best. And if you're Seattle, you're at home. You got everything stacked in your favor. You got the 1-game lead right now being 10-1. New Orleans being 9-2. You're coming off of a bye. Everything is stacked in your favor to win this football game. You got to go out and execute and win. Seattle has not lost in over a year and a half at home until somebody knocks them off of their high horse at home. I got to go with Seattle. And I think New Orleans is good enough to go into Seattle and beat them. They play good enough defense. They can score enough points. They can win this game very easily. Again, much like that San Diego-Cincinnati game, it's a toss-up. You flip a coin, heads, Seattle, tails, New Orleans. Again, I'm just going with the home team here because I feel like Seattle has everything in their favor. They're playing with confidence. They're getting healthy. They're coming off a bye. They've got the better record. They're playing at home. They haven't lost there in over a year and a half. Everything just smells like a Seattle victory. They're going to replay the beast mode, the beast quake play over and over and over again because you remember that happened 2 years ago in the postseason. And so they're going to relive that a million times during this telecast. It's just going to be a great atmosphere, a great game. But at the end, when it's all said and done, give me Seattle to find a way to get it done and move to 11-1 on the season. This is just a really good Seattle team, especially when they're at home. But again, it would not surprise me one bit if New Orleans went into Seattle and got a W because they're good enough. Their defense is stellar. And that offense, we know, can put up a ton of points when they're clicking on all cylinders. And so I expect this to be a 12-round fight, a heavyweight championship bout. But at the end, I see Seattle coming out on top. So give me Seattle to round out my picks for week number 13 in the National Football League. So those are my picks for week 13. I got them on the board. So go ahead, toss it up. You know what time it is. Let's tack on this quick extra point. A lot of people are making a big deal out of the Mike Tomlin thing. Look, man, to me it was comical. And the football gods, I feel like they resurrected that whole situation. They righted the wrong there. Everybody needs to move on. It was funny to me. I got a big chuckle out of it. I mean, if you're a Ravens fan, maybe it wasn't funny to you, but you won the game. The football gods made it right at the end. Let it go. Move on. I think the NFL is probably going to overreact to this situation. They already said he should have been flagged 15 yards, which I believe he should have been. I mean, you're not supposed to be in that white area during the play as it's being transpired on the field. So, no, he probably should have been flagged. But again, I don't think there needs to be any other action, taken here. They're probably going to levy down some type of fine against Mike Tomlin just to let other coaches around the league know, hey, it's not okay to do this, yada, yada, yada. Again, I don't feel like a lot of action needs to be taken here. To me, it was comical. At the end, if the Steelers win this game, maybe you got a gripe. But again, the football gods always will resurrect any problem like this. They will right the wrong. No injustice goes unnoticed. So trust me. If you try to get away with something, the football gods will straighten it out before it's all said and done. You won't get away scot-free with any kind of crime against the sport of football. It just won't happen. The football gods will make sure that the playing field is leveled at all times. And so you may get away with it for the time being, but before it's all said and done, the football gods will make sure the score is even. So, let it go. Everybody needs to just have a good laugh about that whole situation and just move on. And so that'll do it for me here in the lab room. I thank you for joining me here on this Friday program. If it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here in the lab room. Thank you for joining me. I've gotten all of the people who have sent me their picks for this week. And one of you already lost the game. You picked Pittsburgh. They didn't get it done, so you're already down. You know who I'm talking to, C-Dub. So we'll see how everyone else fares this week. But C-Dub, he said he was tied with me last week. I want to see him do it again this week. I want to see him do it again or beat me this week. So we'll see what C-Dub has in store for me. But he's already down one. He got Detroit, he got Dallas, but he came up short with Pittsburgh. So he's already down a game. We'll see how he fares this weekend with his picks. I'll see you on Monday as I break all of the games down on the slate in the National Football League for week number 13. See you then.
Like the content? Want more? Sub up.
In the lab room.